So today's discussion is who's overpriced. Now I'm having this because I was having a discussion with somebody about Liverpool's Andy Carroll and Darius Henderson? Jordan Henderson. And it was, oh, you always bring up that they're overpriced and blah, blah, blah. And to be fair, I always do. But I thought, you know what? I actually never spoken about it, considering I think it's such a major issue. So I'm going to talk about it now. I just feel like a club like Liverpool, I thought Kenny Dalglish done a great job, by the way, with the signings he's bought, and how he's got a team playing. But I just never understood the Andy Carroll and Jordan Henderson thing. Never. 35 million, and the best players in the world are going for 35 million for someone who's played a season and a quarter in the Championship with Newcastle and Preston on loan at Preston, and 6 months in the Premiership. And I mean, everybody plays over the odds of players sometimes because they might be desperate for a reason or potential. But we know the kind of player Andy Carroll is, and he's more hustle and bustle and affect the game, and he's good at it, and he can potentially be a very good player as well. But 35 million, it's just like, it's just ridiculous in a way. And obviously the same with Jordan Henderson, but they both can come good in the future. I don't think they should start with Liverpool now. I think it's something that they should slowly get bred in, because I think they're going to have the pressure of the price tag. But it got me thinking about other players who are overpriced, and also, it's how you judge a player if you think he's overpriced. So I put it out there on Twitter and Facebook. And I was just thinking to myself, what other players are overpriced? Obviously, some people said Oxlade-Chamberlain, and I agree with him. He's not played at the top level. He cost about 12 million. So yeah, overpriced. I'm going to go through a list on here on the Facebook, on my Facebook wall. We've got Ibrahimovic, which is true, 40 million, plus Samuel Eto'o. I couldn't believe it. I was thinking, if anything, they should be giving Buddy Barca money for Eto'o and Ibrahimovic. Robinho to Man City, yeah. See, I understand that one. I agree it's overpriced, but sometimes you've got to look at the circumstances. So you've got Man City who are trying to kind of make a marquee signing or kind of make a statement of intent, or maybe to even attract other players. So it's not even just for him playing. But if we're looking at it that way, yeah. Denilson to Batiste, okay? The step over king. I don't think he was overpriced. I think he was a great player, and I used to actually watch Real Batiste because of Denilson. I know they had Joaquin, Alfonso, and all these other great players, but I actually made it a priority. I have to watch, Real Batiste. He was a great player, but a club that spends that size, who spends that money on a winger, I mean, I don't know what they were thinking. Maybe they were thinking of, he's going to be great, let's send him on. But he was making goal-scoring opportunities. He was getting assists. I don't remember if he scored a lot of goals, but for me, he was performing out of this world. So I wouldn't have him as overpriced at all, to be honest with you. Someone wrote Kazaragi. I don't agree with that. Milner to Man City. Yes, he is overpriced, yeah. Someone said Anderson at Man United, but then I said, obviously, when he was at Porto, he was like a Ronaldinho. He was a different kind of player. So he wasn't overpriced at the time, judging on today. Well, actually, no. Sorry, I'm having a nightmare. He was overpriced, slightly, yeah. Berbatov, I think so. And I rate him highly. I think he's got the best touch in the Premiership as well. But I think at his age and things like that, I think 30 million, they paid 30 million for Rooney. Oh, by the way, he was overpriced as well because he just come on the scene. But he's got a whole future ahead of him. Like Carroll, you can say, he's overpriced, but, he could be something big in the future. I think to myself, 30 million is a lot. Someone wrote, every British player is overpriced and even includes free transfers. Oh, God. Someone's also wrote, robbed you Keane, which is Christopher Chin. And that is it. Okay, so anyway, gave you a list of players who I feel, or other people felt, are overpriced. The difference between them and the Andy Carrolls and the Jordan Hendersons is that these guys are slightly overpriced. So it's a case of a risk. You'll go into a shop and you think, I like those jeans, but I'm only going to pay £20 for them. And the person goes, well, sorry, they're £25. You're thinking, it's more than what I want to pay, but I'm willing to risk losing that extra £5. But if you go in the shop and say, I want those jeans, I want to pay £20 for them, and then they charge you, say, £35, you're going to be thinking, well, I really want them, but can I afford to waste extra £15? And that's how it is with the players. So, all those, was it Oxlade-Chamberlains, we've got the Berbatovs, we've got, just all the other players, they are overpriced. I would say they're slightly overpriced. But when you look at the Jordan Hendersons and the Carrolls, I think it's ridiculously overpriced, and that's why it's such a massive issue. Also, I can understand clubs are kind of thinking, do you know what, we've got the new regulations in, we need to get the players in quickly, hence I'm spending big money. But then I think to myself, you've got all these big clubs have scouts all over the world, so they collate information weekly, and it's a case of, do you know what, if we don't get our target, then we'll go to another one. So like Arsene Wenger, because he's so tight, he will say, I'm not going to pay that. You're not going to sell? Okay, I'm going to go to this one. So he got to his second target or his third target, which isn't always right. But sometimes then he won't get roped in to think, you know what, I've got to spend 1 trillion on a player because he's English and because he's played a couple months of football. So, that's pretty much that. I hope I've closed that. If anyone's got anything to add to it, just let me know and we can even extend it even further.